Okay, this is Rusty Brown, Engineering and Application Support with Lennox Global. And I'm going to do a product overview on the Lennox commercial product line. We're going to talk about the Energens package unit, the Energens Ultra package unit, and the controls for those two units. We're also going to go over the Landmark package unit and the Raider package unit, as well as the split systems and commercial controls. So let's start with the Rooftop package unit. We've got a Raider, Landmark, Energens, and Energens Ultra for the product line. The Raider is primarily a replacement product, a specialty replacement product that we'll talk about in a little bit. The Landmark, Energens, and Energens Ultra is our good, better, best product offering for Lennox Commercial. We're going to start with the Energens and the Energens Ultra package units. So we'll start with the Energens High Efficiency package unit. This unit is available in an A, B, C, D, and E box, giving us 3 through 50 tons of product. It is available in gas heat and straight cool. They all come standard. All Energens package units come standard with the Prodigy 2.0, where we can do up to 18 SEER and up to 16 IEER. Depending on the size, either 2 or 4 stages of cooling. And depending on the size, you would get this in either direct drive or belt drive. And we can get it in constant air volume, multiple stage air volume, and variable air volume. If we take a look inside, we'll see the unit has hinged access panels, isolated compressor compartment, corrosion resistant removable double slope drain pan, a thermostatic expansion valves, Copeland scroll compressors, humiditrol dehumidification system, which is an option, Prodigy 2.0 control system. We do have the option for multiple stage air volume for these, and you can get these with a Environ coil system or the tube and fin system, depending on the size. They come with isolated compressor compartments, slide out blower decks, cradle mounted fans, and full access heating compartments. Easy to get to, easy to work on. And the smart wire system, which we'll talk about here momentarily. We have the A box, B box, C box, D, and E. Now the blower options on these units, we have constant air volume is an option on the A, B, C, and D. The E box does not have that option. We have MSAV on the entire product line, A, B, C, and D, and the E box, it's standard. We have no choice. We used to traditionally did the D box and the E box as a variable air volume system. We now do that down into the C box. So we do C, D, and E box with variable air volume. We're going to briefly talk about the VAV system. Basically how it works, you have VAV boxes, either series or parallel boxes, and those boxes are basically dampers with a blower in them and typically reheat. They will be tied to a thermostat that will modulate those boxes open and shut, allowing the amount of air required to meet the space set point temperature. While that's happening, we are going to supply 55-degree air out of the package unit, utilizing what we call discharge air control. So our compressors are going to stage up and down whatever they got to do to meet 55 discharge air, 55-degree discharge air that's being measured in the supply trunk leaving the unit. We also have a pressure sensor or a pressure transducer in the supply trunk. And as those boxes open and shut, the static pressure in the ductwork is going to reflect that. Our pressure sensor is going to see that, and our variable frequency drive is going to ramp up or down, trying to maintain a set point for static pressure. So if you put in there you want 1 inch, 1.5, 2 inch, whatever that set point may be, as these boxes open and shut, then the variable frequency drive is going to ramp up and down to try to maintain that set point in static pressure. Now we're going to talk about the Energon Ultra. This is our best product. The most efficient, complete line of package units in the industry, the quietest units in their class, the lightest weight in their class. 4 stages of heating and modulating variable speed technology provide enhanced comfort and enhanced dehumidification capabilities. So on the Ultra, Energon's Ultra package unit, we have 3 box sizes. A, which is 3, 4, 5, and 6 ton. It will do up to 23.5 SEER and up to 22 IEER. It is a fully variable inverter-driven scroll compressor with a variable speed ECM motor, direct drive motor, and there's also a variable speed ECM condenser fan motor. So we will control the speed, the Prodigy board will control the speed of all these to give us a true variable system. On the B box, that is a 7.5, 10, and 12.5 ton. That has up to 21.5 IEER. It utilizes 2 stages of cooling via tandem scroll compressors. And you can get that in MSAB or direct drive or belt drive. And then we have the C box, 15, 20, and 25 ton. Up to 20.2 IEER, 4 stages of cooling via 2 pairs of tandem scroll compressors, and it's automatically MSAB via a belt drive system. So on the 3 through 6 ton, it has a true inverter compressor, variable speed compressor, an ECM2 variable speed direct drive blower motor, and an ECM variable speed condenser fan motor. So the Prodigy board is going to control all of these components the way it feels fit with using its algorithms in order to produce the most energy efficient, quietest, and increased comfort and moisture removal to optimize all of those things. The 7.5 through 12.5 ton, or the B box, has a belt drive motor, but we also have an option called the Direct Plus. And this is a forward curve fan foil fan, or airfoil fan, excuse me. And it is direct drive DC motor on it, and it is a truly variable motor. If you see this motor housing that's in there, you see it being slid out, it's on drawer slides. This is a complete component. You can pull this out and order the whole component with one part number. And the 7.5 all the way up to the 25 ton utilizes the tandem compressors. You see this would be a B box, 7.5 through 12.5 ton, and you have 2 tandem compressors. Those compressors are mounted on that sliding tray that slides out of the unit. That is one part. If you lose one of those compressors and you order a new compressor, you're going to get both compressors. They're already going to be mounted on that slide out tray. They're already going to be piped together, and those pressure switches and sensors and the Schrader valves that are on there are already going to be in there. If this had been a larger unit, like a 25 ton or a 20 ton, then you would have 2 of these slide out trays, 2 tandem compressors on each tray. The sound levels on this, the Lennox Energon Ultra, 73 dB is the sound levels. Our next closest is Carrier with 76, and then Train with 81. We don't know what Daikin is, they don't publish it. From an efficiency standpoint, we're in really good shape with this. With the exception of the 6 ton, where Train's got us by just a little bit. The rest of them were, well, then there's a 5 ton where we're equal to Train, and then the 4 and 3 ton, we're above Train, above everybody else. The Prodigy board. As I said earlier, all Energon's package units come standard with the Prodigy 2.0 advanced unit controller. This has got a 4x20 LCD screen, and the push buttons, the little arrows in the menu, so you can navigate around and set up this unit and do whatever you need to do. To the left of that screen, you'll see the menu. It's printed right out on the cover so that you know where you're going and where you got to go. This also comes standard with our smart wire system. If you look at the picture on the bottom, all of these are color coded and labeled. And even one of those pulls out and you stick your wires in, you can tighten them on and then stick the plug back in. The plugs are keyed so you cannot put them in the wrong spot. The wires themselves are all labeled every 4 inches where each end of the wire goes. You will look at the wire, you'll see 2 chevrons pointing in one direction. Tucked in there, it may say J110-5. That would be jack 110, pin 5. Next to that will be 2 chevrons pointing in the other direction. That may say P10-3. That would be plug 10, pin 3. Every 4 inches it's labeled where each end of the wire goes. There is no reason to start cutting all the wire ties when you're tracing wire and servicing this machine. We also have the Prodigy app, which can come on either Apple or Google Play. Basically, this allows you to look up control parameters. You can look up error codes, and there is a menu path navigation that takes you through how to navigate around on the board. Technical documents library. So if I get a building owner that calls you and says, hey, I've got an alarm 13 on my Prodigy board in my unit, you can go to your phone, look up and see what alarm 13 is, and if you do, it's going to tell you it's third strike, excuse me, because they're all 3 strike before they lock out, so they're automatic reset for the first 3. Third strike, compressor 1, high pressure, and now you know what's going on with that unit. And down below, it's going to tell you what action the controller has taken because of this, and you can then send your technician out. He already knows what he's going out there to look at. As far as the navigation portion of the app, it allows you to go in and type in what you're trying to accomplish, what task you're trying to do. It will then walk you through slide by slide, showing you in order, in sequence, what to do to accomplish that task. We also have what we call our Comfort Sense 8500 thermostat that to be used with any unit that has a Prodigy board. This really is not a thermostat. It's actually a sensor that is a programmable sensor with a time and day schedule. If you look to the right, you'll see we're wiring this unit straight to the sysbus terminal on the Prodigy board, just 2 wires. And those wires do need to be shielded, twisted, 2 pair, stranded with a ground. You can see our part numbers there. We can order this wire from us, and it's made for us by Belden. As long as it meets the specifications, 22 gauge, twisted pair, shielded cable with ground, you should be fine. The 24 volt supply on this, you can use thermostat wire. In fact, that's my preference. I don't want to see the voltage line, the 24 volts, inside of the conductor. So even if you buy this wire with 4 conductors, we don't want voltage, whether it's line voltage or 24 volts. We don't want the voltage inside the jacket of the control wire. This sensor slash thermostat is also backnet capable. So you can put this on a system that has a backnet. You order the Prodigy board or the package unit with our backnet module. It can be factory installed or field installed. And you're going to wire your bus terminal straight to that module terminal. And then you're going to wire your sensors thermostat to the S-bus terminal. You're going to end up with a system that looks kind of like this, where you have a backnet bus system, and then each unit has a sub-bus going to the thermostat. All right, we're going to talk about the Landmark now. The Landmark package. This package unit is 2 through 25 tons, and it is our good on our good, better, best product line. So there is a heat pump version of this that is available 2 through 20 ton. There are in excess of 100 field installed options or accessories available with this unit. It is available with multiple stage air volume and constant air volume options, and it is now available with the Humiditrol hot gas reheat. Insulated base rail, so there's no need for a curb gasket. Single hookup gas connection, and terminal strips come standard. Isolated compressor compartment, slide out blower deck, an accessible gas heating compartment, easy to get to, easy to work on. What is new is the Humiditrol. It is now available on the Landmark package unit. So simple, controlled via a thermostat / humidistat, and it is hot gas reheat dehumidification on an entry-level product. Hot gas reheat needed on the entry-level product we've been looking for a long time. We now have it. This is different than the hot gas reheat on the Energon package units because the Energon package unit has a Prodigy board, and the Prodigy board controls all of the functions and algorithms for the hot gas reheat performance, including how the hot gas reheat is staging, how the cooling is staging, the airflow CFM. We can lower the airflow to get a colder coil, increase dehumidification, and we can even slow down the outdoor condenser fan in order to get the hotter discharge gas temperatures. Landmark. We have an A box, a B box, and a C box. The A box is 2 through 7.5 ton. The B box is 7.5 through 12.5 tons, so we do have an overlap on the 7.5 ton. And the C box is 15 through 25 ton. It's available in gas heat, straight cool, and heat pump. Has electromechanical controls and up to 14 SEER and up to 13.3 EER. 2 stages of cooling, direct or belt drive depending on the size of the unit, constant air volume or multiple stage air volume. So this is the Landmark standard. The Landmark high efficiency is available A box 6 tons, B box 7.5, 12.5, and the C box 13 through 25. It's available in gas heat and straight cool. There's no heat pump. It's also electromechanical controls, up to 16 IEER, up to 4 stages of cooling, and you can get belt drive or direct drive, constant air volume, or multiple stage air volume. Has an isolated compressor compartment, separates the compressor from the air system around the evaporator, or excuse me, the condenser coil. This allows you to put your gauges on there and leave that door open while you're working on the unit without worrying about getting false readings because the air is bypassing the condenser coil. It has a cradle mount fan, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and fully accessible heating compartment, easy to get to, easy to work on. The slide out blower deck up to 7.5 tons and up. Insulated base rail, so there's no need for a curb gasket, and single hookup gas connection. We are now going to talk about the Raider package unit. This is a product that was designed for the replacement market. 3 through 12.5 tons. It's available in a gas electric, electric, and a heat pump. The heat pump is only available in 3 through 10 tons. It's compatible with a widely used footprint throughout the industry. In fact, this footprint was originally on the 50 and 48 series carrier package units. They go back 30 years. A lot of manufacturers tried to copy that footprint so they could replace them, which means there's a bunch of these units out there with that same footprint. You do not need an adapter curb, and all the utilities are in existing places. So if you've got a gas unit, the gas and the electrical that are coming through the curb will come out in the right place. It has the Environ coil system, and it is lighter than the other units that you'll see out there. So when you're replacing a carrier or whatever unit that's got the same footprint, you're not going to need to do a structural analysis or load analysis on the roof, simply because this unit is going to be lighter than the unit you're replacing. Compressor access panel, toolless filter access, and accessible gas compartment or heating compartment. The Raider package unit, again, 3 through 12.5 tons, gas, electric, and heat pump. Up to 14 SEER, up to 15 IEER, and it does have an option for MSAB in order to meet ASHRAE 90.1. 2 stages of cooling, single speed, belt drive, and of course, unless you have the option for MSAB. And again, you do not need typically an adapter curve. This will sit right back on those existing curves for most of those units. The controls for the Landmark and the Raider package units are actually the same controls for the commercial split. So anything that we're using on these that we're talking about control-wise for the Landmark and the Raider, we can also use on the ELA, ELS commercial split systems. If we do have the need for BACnet, we're going to use a BACnet network thermostat. It's a Siemens thermostat, 3 configurable digital outputs, and 4 configurable analog inputs. In the unit itself, we're going to use a KMC unit controller, and this can be factory installed in the unit or field installed. 2-stage heat, 2-stage cool, and there is no output for humiditrol on this unit controller. 3 dedicated analog inputs and 1 binary input. We also have a ComfortSense 3000. This is our down and dirty thermostat. Typically, you'd use it on the Landmark, Raider, or the Elite series split systems. 2-stage heat, 2-stage cool, 5-day programmable with 2 periods per day. That's a manual changeover, push button. It's not a touchscreen, it's push button. It does have smooth setback recovery. It also has, of course, to be commercial, a economizer relay control and a 5-minute compressor short cycle protection and a minimum cycle time of 6 minutes. Excuse me. We also have the ComfortSense 7500. This is another conventional 24-volt thermostat, 2-stage heat, 2-stage cool, 4-stage heat if you have a heat pump. 7-day programmable up to 4 time periods per day. It has automatic changeover from heating to cooling, built-in temperature and humidity sensors, smooth setback recovery option, fault detection and diagnostics, economizer relay control outputs, and a dehumidification relay control, which means you can use this on the Landmark with the humiditrol hot gas reheat, and 5-minute compressor short cycle protection. The ComfortSense 7500 thermostat, you got to be careful because there's also a residential version on the ComfortSense 7500, and they are not the same. Typical of a commercial thermostat, it's got an economizer relay based on the scheduled occupancy of the building that's going to control our motorized outside air damper or economizer. The residential stat does not have that. Fault detection and diagnostics, the residential stat does not have that either. And remote indoor and outdoor temperature sensing, to where the residential stat just has remote outdoor temperature sensing. So the whole lineup on the thermostats, the ComfortSense 8500, if you've got any unit with a Prodigy board, this is a no-brainer. You want to use this unit, you can make it do almost anything you want to do. The Comfort Sense 7500, you can use this on all package units and commercial split systems, period, including the Energens. The Comfort Sense 3000, you can use it on all package units. Just keep in mind there are options like the hot gas reheat and things like that that this probably won't control. Large commercial split systems. This is our Elite Series commercial split system with the ELS condenser and the ELA air handler. 2 stages of cooling and multiple stage air volume is standard on these, period. When you order a ELA air handler, it will come with MSAV. And when you order ELS condensing unit, it will have 2 stages of cooling, not necessarily 2 compressors, but 2 stages. It has the enhanced condensate management system. We've engineered this in there to help keep the moisture where it's supposed to be and prevent condensate leaks. And this is set up very easy to service and easy to work on. Superior comfort through 2 stages of cooling. So even across the entire product line on this split system, even if you have a single compressor, that single compressor is a 2-stage compressor. So the 6, 7.5, and the 10-ton you can get with a single compressor. The 10-ton you can get either way because you have the ELS 120S and the ELS 120D. The S meaning it's got a single 2-stage compressor. The D meaning it has dual circuited 2 compressors. This gives us a much better balancing point, allows us to have 2 stages of cooling, balance our temperature better, and better moisture control. We can also, this comes with a external filter rack that will accept a 4-inch filter. So we can go up to MERV 13, and you can buy other filters out there that'll go higher than that are 4-inch. Because this has got MSAV and it's 2-stage, because it has MSAV, we have a variable frequency drive in there. So we're going to have a soft start, which is going to keep the sound levels down, and it's part load, which also helps keep the sound levels down. So if we're looking at that, you're seeing our 4-inch filter rack. You can put 2-inch filters in there, but it's also, you can put 4-inch filters in there. And then on the bottom, you're seeing our variable frequency drive for our MSAV that's standard on that. And then over to the right on the condensing unit, you see the single circuited 2-stage compressor. As we look at the ELA air handler a little closer, enhanced cabinet insulation to increase our insulation levels. It's got again, the external filter rack that will take up to a 4-inch filter. If you look at the bottom there where it says extended drip shield, for those low static applications, this drip shield allows if water starts coming off of the return side of the coil, it's collected in that drip shield, and that just runs it right into the drain pan. On the leading air side of the coil, we have a baffle, a blow-off baffle, to help prevent, on high static applications, to help prevent water condensation from being introduced to the blower motors. Still on that air handler is a slide-out motor. It's on drawer slides. So when you unbolt that motor, you then slide it out on the drawer slides and lift it out of the cabinet. Unlike most of our competitors, once you unbolt theirs, it just drops. You better have somebody else holding that motor, especially if it's a big one, because once you unbolt it, it's going to drop right onto the coil. Ours, once you unbolt it, it stays right there. You slide it out on drawer slides and then lift it out of the unit. Also has the auto belt tensioner, allowing it to stay efficient and even over longer times than you should be leaving a belt in. As the belt wears or stretches, the auto tensioner takes up that tension, keeping the belt in proper use. It also has a removable and reversible drain pan, so I can pull that drain pan out, spin it around, and slide it back in, drain from the other side of the unit. Looking to the right at the condenser, you see the accessible compressor. It's easy to get to. In this case, it's a single 2-stage compressor. It could be, if it was a larger unit, it could be 2 compressors there. Service valves, these are back seatable king type service valves, so you can close these and put this unit into a pump down. And the cradle mount condenser fan mounts, same as our package units. We do not take a condenser fan motor, flip it upside down and bolt it to the basket. Over time, the weight of that motor is going to pull that basket down, and when that fan blade drops below that shroud level around the blade, all bets are off on the performance of the system. In fact, if you put an amp meter on there, you'll see a huge difference in the amp draw. Because of the way we have our MSAV and our 2 stages on all of our commercial split systems, if you look at the EER, we're all pretty close. But if you look at the IEER, which tells you really that that's the way you should be measuring air conditioning systems, we're way above the rest. And of course, again, the 4-inch filter rack. I think in times like we're seeing now, moving forward, I think people are going to be paying more attention to indoor air quality. I mean, I see this is that mask that you're seeing people wearing all over the place for the whole house. If our competitors need to do this, then they've got to have to add a filter rack into the ductwork. Small split. We have our T-Class, which is our TSA S model, and our TSA H model, standard and high efficiency. And then our S-Class high efficiency model. So the TSA S, straight cool only, single stage, up to 14 SEER, 3 through 5 ton. It's available in 208 and 460 volt, 3-phase, 60 hertz, as well as 220 volt and 380/420 volt, 3-phase, 50 hertz. It has corrosion resistant cabinet, coil guards, fan guards, fully enclosed motor, scroll compressor, rubber vibration mounts on the compressor, crankcase heater, high pressure switch, copper tube, aluminum fin coil, and is operable to 0 ambient temperature right out of the box. You do not need a low ambient kit. Then our TSA H model is available at TSA and a TPA, which means it's got a heat pump. And they are efficiency rating 16 and 15 respectively. So 16 would be the straight cool, 15 would be the heat pump. 3 through 5 ton, they're available in 208 and 460 volt, 3-phase, 60 hertz only. There is no 50 hertz version of this. And everything else on there is the same: corrosion resistant cabinets, the coil guards, hail guards, crankcase heaters, and also operational to 0 degrees ambient out of the box. Then our S-Class condensing unit. This is available in the straight cool and a heat pump, the SPB, 3 through 5 ton, 208, 3-phase for both the straight cool and the heat pump. 460 volt, 3-phase, 60 hertz is only available in straight cool. Corrosion, this also has a 2-stage compressor, by the way. Corrosion resistant cabinet, louvered hail guards or hinged hail guards, fully enclosed motor, 2-stage scroll compressor. It actually utilizes the Copeland Ultratech 2-stage scroll compressor. Rubber mounts for the vibration isolation, crankcase heater, high and low pressure switches, copper tube aluminum fin, and low ambient down to 0. All of our commercial split systems have copper tube aluminum fin, including the ELS condenser, commercial condenser. There is no option on any of these for anything but the copper tube aluminum fin coil. On the air handlers, we have our good, better, best to match the condensing units. Our good is the CBA 25, our better is the CBA 27, and our best is the CBA 38. The CBA 38 is the one, and the 27 both have variable speed fans. But these, all of these products have our new quantum coil in them. This is a an aluminum tube, aluminum fin coil. It is not a microchannel, it's aluminum tube and aluminum fin, and the aluminum material or the alloy that it's made of was designed by us and invented by us at Lennox. And it is completely immune to formicary corrosion. We also have our full line, our good, better, best on our gas furnaces. And we have our evaporator coils, both the vertical and the horizontal case coils, to sit on top of those furnaces for air conditioning. And they too have the Lennox Quantum coil. We do also have the Lennox Humiditrol reheat system, or what we call the EDA, Enhanced Dehumidification Accessory. This is very similar to the commercial package units reheat. The difference is this isn't hot gas, this is hot liquid. And by doing that, we do not have to pipe in a hot gas line from the condenser to the evaporator, which means as the installing contractor, you don't have to put in a liquid line, suction line, and hot gas line. This device mounts on the leaving air side of your evaporator coil, and we take the hot liquid right there from the expansion valve. And that completes this presentation. If anybody's got any questions, just email them to me at rusty.brown@lennoxind.com. Thank you very much.